Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Brandy, and today I am doing a book review on my most anticipated read of the year, you guys. Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. The S.A. Cosby. Y'all, somebody gifted me this book for my birthday, and I'm so grateful and so excited about it because I've been having this on my TBR, on my electronic TBR all freaking year, and every time I see somebody post about it on Instagram, BookTube, Facebook, I'm like, I'm reading that book. I'm gonna read that book. I'm gonna read that book for my birthday. I'm gonna read that book. And y'all, I finally read this book. This is my second read by S.A. Cosby. My first one is sitting right here. I actually read this one first, and I know everybody has been saving this one for last, but I decided to do this one first, and I did it as an audiobook. And you guys, I know this year I said I was straying away from audiobooks, but the narrator for all of S.A. Cosby's books is the same. And when I tell you his voice does the darn thing for the books, yes. If you do not want to buy the physical copy, you just want to try out his books, I highly recommend audiobook. This book here was so freaking good. I think I did the audiobook in March, and it was amazing. So let's get to the book that I am actually going to be reviewing today. So I really want to read the synopsis because I know you guys probably have already read the book, but some of you guys probably have not. So let me just read the synopsis so that you guys can kind of get an idea of why everyone has been raving about this book. So it says, Ike Randolph has been out of jail for 15 years with not as much as a speeding ticket and all of that time. But a black man with cops at his door knows to be afraid. The last thing he expects to hear is his son, Isaiah, has been murdered along with Isaiah's white husband, Derek. Ike had never fully accepted Isaiah, but is devastated by his loss. Derek's father, Buddy Lee, had a similar relationship with his son, but he can't rest until he knows who killed him. Ike and Buddy Lee, the two ex-cons with little in common other than a criminal past and a love for their dead sons, band together in their desperate desire for revenge. In their quest to do better for their sons in death than they did in life, these hardened men will confront their own prejudices about their sons and each other as they rain down vegans upon those who hurt their boys. Y'all, I went on Facebook not too long ago and I was like, hey, I want to get more into African American authors that are males, and everybody was raving about S.A. Cosby. So I'm like, okay, as soon as I get a recommendation, I go straight to Amazon or Goodreads and I pull up the author, pull up their books, see what it's about, see if I'm intrigued. This synopsis had me so intrigued to the point where I was talking about the book before I even read it. Like, that delusional. I could not wait to get my hands on this book. Like, I just knew I was going to love this book. And y'all, I loved it so much. As you can tell by the synopsis, it's basically a white guy, a black guy. Their sons were married. Obviously, they're gay, and they were murdered. Then somehow, some way, the police sweeps the case under the rug and say basically they're not doing anything else on the case because nobody is talking, nobody is telling what happened, nobody is saying what they know in their town, everybody's afraid to talk. And so Ike and Buddy Lee, the only time they came in contact with each other was at their funeral. That's the only time. And so Buddy Lee hit up Ike like, listen, our sons, they gone. And the police came to my house, and I know they came to yours. They acting like they done with our case. What's up? You want to get active? Like, I see your tattoos. I see what you done did in your past. I can see the tattoos that you was getting from jail. So that tells me you with the shits like I am. So what's up? And you know, at first, Ike was very, very hesitant. He was hesitant. He like, look, man, I don't do that stuff no more. I'm trying to live a better lifestyle for me and my family. Like, I don't want that riffraff at my door. Been there, done that. I'm good. Well, something happens that prompts him to get on board immediately. Like, what's that number again? Yeah, let me call him up, cause yeah. This ain't finna be it. So something happens that prompts Ike to be on board with Buddy Lee. And when I say they fucked the town up, they fucked the town up for they boys. Now, in this story, of course, is two dads who really couldn't accept the fact that their sons were gay. They couldn't accept that. So while their sons were alive, they did not have the best of the best relationships with their sons. They often got into it with their sons about who they love. And in today's time, loving who you love has become the new normal. And it takes fathers a lot more time to accept that their sons like the same sex. So that's what Ike and Buddy Lee kind of went through with their sons while their sons were alive. And with that sitting heavy on their hearts and knowing that the police swept it under the rug basically and was like, we finna close this case and we ain't finna do no more research and we not finna find out who killed your sons. Like, they felt like they had something to prove to their sons, even though their sons were no longer alive. And in the midst of doing that, they actually was able to witness what each other go through, because obviously Ike is black, Buddy Lee is white. Buddy Lee got to see front and center how Ike has been mistreated as a black man. And Ike got to see and prove to Buddy Lee front and center how just because of the color of his skin, he has an advantage over him. But anyway, Ike and Buddy Lee came together, and at first they really didn't mesh well together because obviously one was black, one was white, and they just had a lot to learn. Like, Buddy Lee was looking at Ike like, dude, you got this nice house, you got this nice family, you got this nice truck. I'm living in a trailer park, like, I'm nothing but trash. But Ike was like, yeah, but you need to recognize and see how hard I had to work to get to where I'm at. You got to recognize that. So in the midst of them trying to get revenge for their sons, they became really, really close. And I really, really loved it. I loved it so much. Their relationship was so funny. The book was so funny. I just loved it. I just loved it. When I say I read this book everywhere, I took it with me to stand in line and get ice cream. I took it wherever I went. This book was with me. I'm gonna insert some pictures. I'm gonna insert a couple of pictures just right here while I'm talking. But I took this book everywhere with me because I loved it. And I did it as a buddy read with another bookish friend who I just found out she actually lives here in Memphis. And we did it together, and I just loved doing this as a buddy read because we were able to tag team and just go back and forth about how we felt about the book. So y'all see by my excitement, you guys should already know that I rated this book a 5-star, and I highly, 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 highly recommend. If it's on your radar, it's on your TBR, push it up. Push it up. Make it priority for the month of May or the month of June. If you already have your May TBR put together, push this book up to top priority because it is just that good, okay? Now, y'all already know how I like to do my review videos. The first half of my video, I'm giving you a summary, a brief synopsis, telling you what it was about, why I liked it, my rating. The second half, I like to give you guys a few spoilers. This time around, I have some pages that I screenshotted that I would like to talk about. Right. This is the part where I'm going to tell you guys some spoilers, some things that I had jotted down in my notes in my app. If y'all hear any background noise, my family is here. They're awake. Nobody's asleep. It is 7 p.m. on a Monday. Everybody's up. So yeah. The first, and these are spoilers, don't forget these are spoilers. So if you have not read the book, exit. So the first thought I had was the way that they killed Andy. Andy was one of the guys in the biker club, I guess. They slaughtered the heck out of that man. Like, wow, the way they killed him was very graphic. It was very graphic. I've never seen a movie. I ain't never seen nothing like it, never heard of anything like it. It was insane. I was like, oh my God. And then every time Buddy Lee kept on referring to jail as the Gray Bar Hotel, I was cracking up. First of all, Buddy Lee came through with the jokes, okay? He made a serious situation a fun time. Like, though they was out here, you know, unaliving people, he was so funny. Buddy Lee was my favorite between the two. Like, Ike, he was very, very serious. He stood on business. But Buddy Lee didn't have nothing to lose, baby. He wasn't married. His child was already gone. He was already in verge of being put out of his trailer park home. Like, he didn't care. So everything was, he made it into a joke. And that just lifts up the mood, especially with them losing their sons, right? Not Ike playing on the bakery's phone saying his name is Jason Kruger. I thought that was so funny, but he did what he had to do to get that address. He was like, yeah, this is Jason Kruger. So he did what he needed to do to get that address. And you know, they referenced him as Riot back in his old days. So it was one point in the book where he really decided, yeah, let me go on and get for real. And Riot had entered the building. So I put Riot entered the chat. And that's when I really started to become that guy. When they started referencing him as Riot, we knew it was business from there on out. The guy, Tyreek, the one who was famous or whatever, the one who was messing with, what was her name? Was it Angel? Was it Angel? Anyway, when he had all the guards around him, I knew he was a weak dude. I knew he was weak because he had all them guards around him and he didn't buzz no type of move. And I knew Tyreek was a little weak person when his guards was surrounding him when Ike and Buddy Lee pulled up to his crib. He was quick to give up the info on Tangy, I said Angel. On Tangy, he was quick to give up the info on Tangy because he knew he was afraid for his life. When he came back to the barbershop and dude had set up that special little meeting between him and Riot, aka Ike, and he gave up that information. And as quick as he gave up that information, I knew he was weak. You standing in between all these bodyguards and blah 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 blah, but you ain't worth nothing. That's why you got these bodyguards here with you. Slice, if y'all remember who Slice was, he ain't shit. Leading Grayson to Ike and Buddy Lee was so foul. I was like, really? It pissed me off. I was mad. I was like, really? And then my last thought I wrote down here, I just feel like babies and old people are off limits. When they was tussling with baby girl, it was really, really irking my nerves. Cause I'm like, yeah, I know y'all out here and it's life or death between all of y'all, but take that baby back. Take that baby back to her grandma immediately. Those were the random thoughts that I had while I was reading the book. And then I had screenshotted some, just some pages out of the book that I just really, really loved. That kind of stuck out to me. I think right here in this scene, I think this was, who was this talking? I ain't trying to make no excuses, but when you grow up around your aunts, uncles, and your grandparents, your brothers, sisters, and your friends, all of them saying things that you don't even think about wrong or right. You don't put that title on yourself. So I think this is when Ike and Buddy Lee was talking about the race issue. And you know, Buddy Lee, you gotta kind of give him some grace, because when you think about it, it's his great grandmas and all of his family. You're not born racist, right? You're taught to be racist. And so that conversation kept on coming up between them two, and Buddy Lee's just plain out saying, you know, I don't know what's wrong and what's right, because this is how I was brought up. And not saying that it was correct, but if that's all I know, then that's all I know to be right. So that kind of stuck out to me. What was another one? Because child, I had a few screenshots in here. I seen one here. It said he didn't have many mementos of Derek. The only one he had was the picture in his wallet, and he couldn't imagine how he'd react if that suddenly went up in flames. When people you love are gone, it's the things that they've touched that keep them alive in your mind. A picture, a shirt, a poem, a pair of baby shoes. They become anchors that help you keep their memory from drifting away. So this is when Maya was trying to, when they called and lied, the neighbor called and lied to Maya about her house being set on fire. Well, they did set her house on fire, but it wasn't set on fire until she got there. And Buddy Lee really didn't want to take her over there because he knew in the back of his mind that that was a setup. But when she said all of Isaiah's stuff was there, he was torn. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know if he should just believe the back of his head, like, I know my instinct is telling me that this is not right, or should he help her and try to get as much stuff out of that house that she could that will remind her of her son, because he carried a picture of his son in his wallet. He carried a picture of Derek in his wallet all the time, and he just knew how he would have felt if that picture was misplaced, torn up, ruined, you know, burned up in flames. So I thought that was very touching. And then this part is the part that pissed me off. When I forget who said, Grayson said this. He was like, this Ariana, referring to the little girl. It's like, so that's who he was calling for. Basically saying, so that's who he was calling for when I was about to kill him. And so he was like, I wonder why he'd be calling out for a girl. I thought it was his mama. Lots of people call for their mama, Grayson said. The blood from the wound on his cheek was dripping into Buddy Lee's eyes. He blinked hard as he strained his neck to look up at the big blonde biker. So when he said that, it let us know that he killed Isaiah and Derek. But because he was so willing to say that, we knew he was sent to do that job. We knew somebody else sent him. And that part really touched me, because to know that they cried out for their little girl that they had. Like, imagine that, right? It touched me. I was really in my feelings. I was like, you know, imagine you about to be unalive and you are literally yelling out for your children's name because you are afraid, right? I'm leaving my children, when really it shouldn't be that soon. That baby was a toddler. Like, you know, and that part really hurt my feelings. All in all, y'all, I really, really love the book. And whatever they say on Facebook, Instagram, and Book Talk and all of that, believe them, the hype is very much real. If you are into crime, thriller, graphic crime and thriller, then this book is for you. Pick it up. Just pick it up, whether it's audiobook or a physical book. Just pick it up. You want this book in your library, on your TBR rack, whatever, in your radar, okay? So I know if you got this far in the video, then you've already read the book and you just wanted to hear my opinions about it. I loved it. I know they've been talking about possibly making this a movie. I would be the first one buying the ticket if so. If it was a series, download whatever subscription I need to watch it because it's getting watched. So I really hope somebody pick this up and make it into something that we can watch on the TV screen because it would be so good. I told my husband that he's not really into reading, but this will be the type of movie he will watch. So I was like, this will be so good in a movie. And I know this is not everybody's cup of tea. It's crime and it's thriller and there are unaliving people and it's very graphic. But coming from a romance girly herself, this book is just that freaking good. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about this book in the comments. I already know you guys have raved about it and stuff, but let me know who's your favorite character. Was it Ike or Team Buddy Lee? I think I'm Team Buddy Lee. How did you feel about the story? Like, how did you feel about the situation? Them losing their sons, not having the relationship that they should have had before they lost their sons. Them really not realizing how important it was to make amends and just, you know, be there for their sons while their sons were alive, you know? So I didn't want to make this video long and drawn out. I just really wanted to get straight to the point for you guys. 5 out of 5. I loved it. If you got this far in the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you turn those post notification bells on so you don't miss another upload from me. Until next time, peace out.